kingdom thundered through the air, their deep reverberations announcing the approach of the long-awaited Iriji festival. The marketplace was ablaze with color, and the scent of roasted yam, palm oil, and spicy entucha soup filled the air. The people had worked hard through the farming season, and now they would celebrate the fruits of their labor. But this year's festival held more significance than any before. It was time for Obinna, the only son of Eze Ji Udochukwu, to choose a maiden worthy of being his wife. Obinna was a tall and handsome young man with a regal bearing inherited from his father and the striking beauty of his mother, Ekenma. He was not just the pride of his family, but of the entire Ubani kingdom. His father, Eze Ji Udochukwu, was the wealthiest yam farmer in all the land, and his name commanded great respect. His vast barns, overflowing with yam tubers, were a testament to his fortune. But tradition dictated that for Obinna to inherit his father's title, he had to be married. Only then could he ascend as the next Eze Ji. The kingdom buzzed with excitement. Every maiden dreamed of being the chosen one, for marriage to Obinna meant wealth, power, and prestige. The competition was fierce, and among those eager to win his heart were Adaugo, the daughter of the chief priest, Olama, a merchant's daughter known for her cunning, and Chizoba, a quiet but graceful girl with wisdom beyond her years. On the morning of the festival, the entire kingdom gathered in the village square, dressed in their finest George wrappers, coral beads, and isi owu headpieces. The elders, clad in red oji caps, sat in a circle, chewing kola nut and sipping palm wine. The arrival of Eze Ji Udochukwu and his son brought a hush over the crowd. Obinna, wearing an intricately embroidered jumper and a leopard skin sash across his chest, took his seat beside his father. To determine which maiden was fit to be the wife of the future Eze Ji, the Umunna, the Council of Elders, devised 3 trials: the dance of the earth, the test of generosity, and the sacred yam ritual. The first trial, the dance of the earth, required the maidens to perform the Oja dance, a traditional dance that symbolized grace, strength, and connection to the land. Each maiden twirled and stomped to the hypnotic beats of the ekwe, and ogain, drums, their anklets jingling. Adaugo danced with the fierceness of a goddess, her feet stamping like thunder. Olama, knowing that her dance skills were lacking, bribed the drummers to slow down the rhythm to favor her. But Chizoba, with the elegance of a flowing river, captivated all who watched. Her every move spoke of humility and inner strength, qualities befitting an Eze Ji's wife. The second trial, the test of generosity, required the maidens to prepare a feast using their own hands and share it with the community. Adaugo, proud of her status, prepared a lavish meal but only shared it with the titled men. Olama, ever the schemer, stole ingredients from other maidens to make her meal grand. But Chizoba, despite having the least resources, made a humble but delicious meal and ensured that even the poorest child had something to eat. The elders nodded in approval, for generosity was a prized virtue in an Eze Ji's household. The final test, the sacred yam ritual, was the most revered. The maidens had to present the best yam from their father's barn to the gods. Obinna would then taste each yam, and the one that pleased his palate the most would determine the worthy bride. Adaugo presented the biggest yam, boasting about its size. Olama, determined to win, paid a dibia to place charms on her yam so it would taste the sweetest. But when Obinna took a bite, his face twisted in disgust. Her yam was bitter, for deceit never prospered. Then came Chizoba, who humbly presented a medium-sized yam, carefully roasted and served with the richest palm oil. Obinna took a bite, and his eyes gleamed. It was the purest, most delicious yam he had ever tasted. It was a sign from the gods. At that moment, jealousy reared its ugly head. Olama, furious at losing, accused Chizoba of using witchcraft. Adaugo, unwilling to accept defeat, knocked over the sacred yam stand, sending the yams rolling into the dust. The elders gasped, and Eze Ji Udochukwu rose in anger. To disrespect the sacred yams was a grave offense. The dibia, the kingdom's spiritual guide, stepped forward. He placed his hand on Chizoba's head and declared, "She is pure of heart. The gods have chosen wisely." Defeated and shamed, Adaugo and Olama fled the square, their dreams shattered. Under the golden sunset, Obinna took Chizoba's hands in his. "You have won my heart, not just because of your beauty, but because of your kindness, wisdom, and humility. With you by my side, I will be a just and great Eze Ji." The Iriji festival had sealed Chizoba's fate as the chosen bride of Obinna. And now the entire Ubani kingdom prepared for a celebration unlike any before. Obinna's traditional marriage and his coronation as the next Eze Ji. The air was thick with anticipation, and every household in the kingdom spoke of the important event that was to come. According to Igbo tradition, Obinna's family had to pay the bride price before the marriage could be sealed. A great delegation from Eze Ji Udochukwu's household, dressed in matching Isiagu attires, arrived at Chizoba's compound. They brought with them kola nuts, palm wine, and a fattened goat, as required by custom. The Umuna, Chizoba's extended family, received them with warmth, but also with the seriousness the occasion demanded. Her father, Nze Ogbuefi, a well-respected yam farmer, welcomed the visitors. As was custom, the elders engaged in the Iku Aka, the knocking on the door ceremony, where Obina's family formally requested Chizoba's hand in marriage. The negotiations were spirited but respectful, and after much deliberation, the bride price was agreed upon. It included yam tubers, kegs of palm wine, coral beads, wrappers, and a he-goat. Once the agreement was reached, Chizoba was called forth, and she was asked 3 times whether she accepted Obinna as her husband. She shyly but confidently responded, Odimu ma. Yes, it pleases me. The final part of the ceremony was the most awaited, the wine-carrying ritual. Chizoba, adorned in the most exquisite George wrapper, her hair decorated with Yupe combs, carried a calabash of palm wine and gracefully searched for her husband among the gathered men. As per tradition, she had to find Obinna and offer him the wine. The crowd erupted in cheers as she spotted him sitting among the elders. With a smile, she knelt before him, offering him the cup. Obinna took a long sip and pulled her up, signaling to all that she was now his wife. The night ended in merriment, with Ekwe and Oge Ena drums leading the dance of the newlyweds. And then came the coronation of the next Eze Ji. With the marriage complete, the next great event was Obinna's coronation as the new Eze Ji. His father, Eze Ji Udochukwu, had decided it was time to pass down the revered title, knowing that Obinna had proven himself worthy. The coronation was set to take place in the Inze Na Orzo shrine, where only the noblest of men were honored. The day began with a sacred yam offering to the gods of the land, a tradition that symbolized the power and sustenance of an Eze Ji. The oldest men of the kingdom, the Ndi Ichie, sat in a circle as the dibia blessed the occasion. A great feast was prepared: roasted yam with palm oil, spicy nkwobi, ofe nsala, and palm wine flowed freely. As the moment arrived, Obinna, dressed in a red isi agu robe with a tiger skin draped across his shoulder, was led to the village square. The Oge Ene and Udu drums beat loudly, announcing his ascension. His father, wearing the full regalia of an Eze Ji, stood before him and held out the Ofo staff, the sacred symbol of authority. Today, the gods bear witness, his father proclaimed. A new Eze Ji rises, a true son of the soil. He will uphold the honor of our ancestors, sustain our wealth in yam, and lead our people with wisdom. Obinna knelt before him, receiving the Ofor staff and the royal Ichie cap, signifying his new status. The crowd erupted in cheers. Igbo kwenu, kwenu, kwezu onu, ooh. As the final act of the coronation, Chizoba was brought forth, now officially Lolo Chizoba, the queen of the new Eze Ji. She was adorned in coral beads and a gold-trimmed wrapper, a symbol of her elevated status. The people bowed in respect as the new royal couple stood before them, ready to lead. That night, Ubani Kingdom was alive with festivity. The sky lit up with the glow of bonfires, and the sound of Ikorodo music echoed through the hills. It was a night of joy, a night of legacy, and the beginning of a new reign. And so, Obina, the only son of the famous Eze Ji Udochukwu, stepped into his destiny, not just as a ruler, but as a man of virtue, strength, and wisdom, and erupted with pride. Umuna kwenu, Ibo kwenu, Ibo kwenu, kwezu onu. Oh, the drums of Ubani would sing his name for generations to come.